Hello and welcome back to Baking with Bob, Baking with me. Today we are going to be making cheesecake. Now I'm going to teach you the basic recipe of cheesecake and then how you can mix it up to make it different flavours. So Oreo, caramel, chocolate, any flavour you like really. So let's get cracking. What do we need? Some biscuits. So like I said, you can use Digestive Biscuits, you can use Oreo biscuits, you can use ginger nut biscuits, any biscuit you like. So we'll have 150 grams of that. We will also need, where are we? We will also need 50 grams of butter. We will need some vanilla essence, about 2 teaspoons. We will need 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. We will need 80 grams of icing sugar, a pot of double cream, and a pot of cream cheese. So let's get started. Stage 1. Stage 1 is the fun part. It's breaking up of the biscuits. So 2 ways to do this. First way is biscuits in a sandwich bag, double bag it, and then bash with a rolling pin. Second method, in a food processor, put them in, blitz it until you've got a fine crumb. Now the tip with the Oreo base is pop them all in a bowl and bash them together. I leave the cream in because it adds an extra flavour. So we'll just take this over to the close-up camera and let's start bashing. So just in a bowl and bash until you have a nice crumb mixture, which I will show you now. Okay. So now we've got a nice biscuity lumpy sand texture. I'll show you on the close-up. Nice texture like so. So same with your Oreos or with your digestives or any of your biscuit that you use, you want that kind of mixture. Now just bear in mind, it looks like I've got a lot less than what you would use, but that's because I've split my bases in half so I can show you both styles of cheesecake, but you just follow one or the other, unless you want to try both. So there's one. And then with the digestive biscuits, bash them with your rolling pin until you have the same kind of texture. Okay, so as you can see, my digestive biscuits are all broken up into smashed up little crumbs. There we go, look. And that's perfect, that's exactly what we want. Okay, so next we want to melt the butter. I do it in the microwave on about 20 seconds for a blast. Don't boil it up, you just need it to be melted. So let's try that. So as you can see, my butter is melted, no lumps. Also, I didn't let it bubble up. So what you would do next with your biscuit base is add the butter to the biscuit paste, the biscuit mix, sorry, and stir in until it's all incorporated. You want it to look like wet sand. So mix it all in until it's all started to absorb. So like I said, this one is the Oreo base. I'll do the biscuit base in a second. And that's basically the only differences between the cheesecakes is the bases and the decoration. Next, what you want to do is you want to get yourself a springform tin, really nice and firm all the way along the bottom of your tin. Make sure you press it down nice and firmly and try and get your mix nice and even across the bottom. I don't know if you noticed as well, I put a little bit of parchment paper at the bottom of the tin and that just makes it a little bit easier to get it out. There we go. So once that's done, what you do is then pop that into the fridge while you get on with the next stage. Sorry about that, my battery died. So once you have put your base inside of your tin, just pop it in the fridge while we get on with the next stage. Now I'm just going to show you quickly the digestive base version. It's exactly the same as the other. So you would melt your butter in the microwave. So then exactly the same as before with your melted butter. Pour your melted butter into the biscuits and stir. See if I can give you a close-up on this camera. So yes, add your biscuits in and give it a good old stir until it's all incorporated and it starts to stick together. Now if you don't want it to be like a fine sand texture, it's okay to have bigger lumps in there. I like bigger lumps because it gives you a bit more of a crunchy base. Now if you do find that your biscuit base isn't quite sticking together enough, especially if you've got bigger lumps in it like I have, you can add another 10 to 15 grams worth of butter melted down and just stir it in again. Okay, and repeat the process. So what we did before was add the biscuit base to the bottom and press it down nice and firmly. So that's what we shall do again. Push it down nice and firm. And there we go. Press down nice and firm. And into the fridge we go. Now as you can see, I've done a third one. I've had a little bit of biscuit mix left. So if you don't want to make a giant one, you can use smaller tins and make individual portions. So that's completely your choice. Okay, so now that the bases are in the fridge, getting ready, well, they're setting in the fridge, we'll move on to the next step, which you will need a whisk for this, or a hand whisk, which will take quite a long time. But in your bowl, you want to add your cream cheese, lemon and sugar. So, add your cream cheese to the bowl. I do recommend getting the cream cheese out about half an hour before you start, just to bring it up to temperature a little bit. And what we want to do is we want to mix that all up until it's all incorporated. And there we go, it's all mixed in nice to a nice paste. Then next we want to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And to slowly incorporate our whipping cream. So we'll pour a nice dollop in and whisk. There we go, add the last of the cream in. Now I don't like waste, so I like to get as much out of the pot as possible, so I use my handy spatula. There we go, look at that, it's at least an extra tablespoon worth of cream there. And then we want to whisk this on a medium to high setting until we've got soft peaks. So I'll just fast forward through this part. Okay, so as you can see, we've got some nice peaks. It's holding its own shape. Let me see if I can show you on the big camera. There we go, look. It's kind of holding its own shape and you can see it's all nice and fluffed up. That's your basic cheesecake topping. You've already done your base is in the fridge setting. That's your basic cheesecake top. So if you wanted to just pour that on top of your biscuit base, put it in the fridge for a minimum of an hour, preferably longer than an hour, but if you're in a rush and you can't wait to eat it like me, stick it in for an hour, take it out, and you're done. But I like to mix this step up a little bit. So for the Oreo cheesecake, which is the first one we did, get a few more Oreos smash them up into clumpy lumps. You don't want it to be dust like it was before. You want them to be in pieces. So let me just grab some Oreos, and there we go. Just break them up by hand into nice little quarters, little pieces. So as you can see, I've got my cheesecake mix here. Add your hand crumpled up Oreos to the mix and fold it in. I mean, the size of the biscuits inside the cheesecake is completely up to you. I like nice big chunky pieces. And there we go. Once they're all incorporated, we need our bases again. Once your base is set, you will see, look, obviously, it's got a nice sheen to it and it's nice and firm. Grab your cheesecake mix that we've just added the Oreos to and place it on top of the nice base that we've made. And then smooth it down into, there we go. Try and make it nice and smooth if you can. And then another little tip is you can get some more Oreos and place them on the top. You can decorate this however you like, however you fancy. It's completely up to you. And there we go. And then pop that back in the fridge, like I said, for a minimum of an hour. I'll just give you a close up, there we go. For a minimum of an hour, and then you can pop it out and serve. Okay, so the other alternative that I like to do, especially with it being Easter time, is mini eggs. Now, grab yourself a small portion of mini eggs. This is an 80-gram bag. And with the rolling pin, just like you did with the biscuits, give it a bit of a smash until you can feel they're in pieces. And add them, just like we did with the others, and incorporate them into your mixture. There we go. And just like before, grab your base and dollop in all of that nice creamy cheesecake mixture. Press it down again to try and even it all out and to get rid of any air bubbles that might be in there. Oh, not doing a very good job at smoothing that one, am I? And then I just like to add a few more to the top. Again, decoration is completely up to you. And there we go. One more cheesecake. It's Cadbury's mini egg cheesecake, Oreo cheesecake, or plain cheesecake. Pop that back in the fridge. Leave it again, like I said, minimum of an hour. And then just to show you the classic, which is the plain cheesecake, I haven't added anything extra to this mix. I'm just dolloping it straight on top, like I said before, straight on top of your biscuit base. Press it down nice and firm so it's all nice and spread out and even. There's no air bubbles in there. And there we go. There is the plain cheesecake. So I'm going to pop that one in the fridge again for an hour minimum. So they're in the fridge now. I'm letting them rest. I will come back to you once I take them out in, like I say, around an hour. I'm going to leave them a little bit longer than an hour, so I'll check back in with you in a moment. Okay, so it's been about an hour and a half in the fridge. Now it's time to take them out of the casings. Now this bit can get messy. If you don't want any mess and you want it to look perfect, what you can do is you can pop your cheesecake in the freezer just to set it up a bit more, then take it out the case and then leave it to defrost at room temperature, and then eat as you like. I like to eat it just a little bit frozen because it's a bit ice creamy. I haven't frozen these today though because I wanted to get them done nice and quick for you so you can see. So let's try and get it out of the case without making too much mess. Here we go. So open the spring form, push up from the bottom, and there we go. One cheesecake. So let's come up to this camera. Can you see? One Oreo cheesecake. You can see the bits of Oreo inside. Should we give it a slice? So I'm going to go straight down the middle. If you can get through that base, it's quite solid. A nice slice that way. Heard that one go through, but I didn't hear the other one go through. So when you slice through, make sure you hear that crunch. And the battery's just died on the GoPro, but I will show you on the main camera. Here we go, one Oreo cheesecake with lovely bits of Oreo inside. Sorry, all you can see is my mouth. Let me just see if we can focus this camera a bit better. There we go, one Oreo cheesecake. I'll open up the mini egg one as well so you can have a good look. So again, open the spring form and push from the bottom. Bring it to you because the other camera's gone. So there we go. You can see the bits of mini egg inside. I'll give this a slice as well. And there we go. See the mini eggs inside? And that's it. Share, enjoy, eat as much as you like. It's Easter. That's it for today. The next video, I believe, is flapjack. I've had a request for flapjack and everyone loves a good old flapjack. So I shall make that on next week's video. So thanks very much again for watching. If you've managed to watch all the way through, I do thank you very much. And I shall see you next time. Don't forget to press like, leave a comment down below, press the bell notification and subscribe, and I shall see you next time. Bye bye now.